Hey everyone, welcome to another episode from Pro Engineering. This is the JJRC Q60. This is a 6-wheel drive 1/16 scale RC car from JJRC, and I bought this from Banggood about 6 months ago, and I love it. This car has a few upgrades on it. I haven't gone too crazy. The axles are original, and these in fact do have the differentials, which I'd like for this truck. I did install some upgraded axles as well as a 2-speed transmission and electronics, and we are going to cover those in an upcoming episode. But for this episode, I wanted to go over a very small upgrade that I've done. This here is the rear, I guess I'll call it trailer hitch / taillight assembly that goes in the back of the vehicle, and it's got enough detail, I suppose, for a vehicle of this price range, but I've decided that I wanted to upgrade it slightly. We've created this little bracket here. Now, I want to be very clear in that a lot of people have made this particular bracket, and they've done fantastic jobs. But it seems that a lot of them are designed to be printed on an FDM printer. And for those of you who don't know what an FDM printer is, those printers have a spool of plastic, and that plastic is melted layer upon layer onto a bed, which will eventually give you your product. And FDM printers are absolutely fantastic. In fact, I use FDM printers quite often when I'm working on larger products, because the lack of detail tends to not matter when it's a larger product. But for something so small, I've gone ahead and gone with Shapeways Ultra Detail Plastic, simply because if I kind of zoom in over here, you can see that taillight alone. The taillight is 10 millimeters tall, and those little screws on the outside are about 0.75 millimeters. The main reason I actually made this is because I wanted to put taillights in. The internal geometry here is designed for a standard 5 millimeter LED, and these screw mounts here are designed for a standard trailer hitch that you may find on eBay. Center to center, both horizontally and vertically, is 9 millimeters. So as long as the hitch has that geometry, it'll fit right on there. I also have these tiny little lenses. See that here? The lens is about 4.5 millimeters across. It's quite small. And this is not a product that many, if anybody, is going to want. I simply made this because I wanted it. That's what we're going to put on, and I've already got the old one off. So I think at this point here, all we have to do is flip the truck over. I went ahead and installed this little trailer hitch assembly. Again, these are available all over eBay in a variety of different configurations. Before I install this, I would like to glue in the little taillight lenses. Again, these aren't necessary, but they're just gonna drop in like that, if you can see it, and then a little bit of glue and it'll hold them in place. Right, the installation process is exactly the same as how you removed this the first place. So we'll just take this, and I'm going to slot this in like that. Actually, maybe I can slide it in. I don't want to completely unscrew the whole bed, so I'm just going to pull this up. I did loosen the other screws here that hold the bed to the frame rails, and it helps put it in the correct orientation there. Now, the screws that I'm going to use to hold this in place are M 2.5 millimeter screws, so I tapped both of the outside holes with a 2.5 millimeter tap. The central hole will accept the screw that you originally removed. Before we put any of the hardware in to hold the bracket into place, we want to put in the leaf spring hangers, and these will install just like you would put them on the originals. We'll just put the hanger right through there, screw it into place. Rear springs are installed again, and at this point here you can go ahead and install some lighting. I'm going to just use a pair of red 5 millimeter LEDs. Went ahead and wired up the taillights, and if you have any questions on how to do that, I do have a video. There's a link in the description and perhaps on the screen right now that will walk you through the process of creating your own LED wiring harnesses. It's a fairly simple process. So let's turn the lights on, and there we have it. These are not going to appear orange in person. They're actually quite red, and that is about it. This does add a little bit of scale realism to the back of the car, and I really dig these little chains that come with these trailer hitches. But that will complete our installation. Well, everyone, I want to thank you very much for watching this video. I am going to have a video coming up soon on this Q70 because a lot of people do ask me about this vehicle, and there aren't very many upgrades available for it. Fundamentally, this truck and many of the WPL trucks are similar. In fact, I suspect that these come from the exact same contract manufacturer that produces the whole lot of WPL and JJRC vehicles, and are simply branded with the corresponding manufacturer. The main difference on the JJRC Q70 is that you do have active differentials here versus a locked or spool type axle. So a lot of people do dislike that, but most of the running that this truck does get is on hard packed dirt as well as asphalt. So for me, this is quite acceptable. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.